Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Simon, and welcome to the finale of The Bad Batch. It is the very last episode, the end of Season 3, which marks the end of the show. I'm dressed in black because I feel like we're in mourning to say goodbye to one of the shows that, personally, I thoroughly enjoyed as much as any of the other animated shows that have been released in the last few years. And surprisingly so, I'd say. I wasn't expecting a great deal when this show was first announced. I'd seen the unfinished episodes, back when they were released online. I mean, for me, it was probably around about 2016 that I got around to watching them. But I imagine it was probably around that time they were released. And, they didn't seem anything special at the time, but then once they were rendered, released as part of Season 7, and we watched the first season of The Bad Batch, I started to really appreciate how unique these characters were and how great the stories that we've had have been. Season 3 has been a bit different to the other two seasons. I'm going to do an overall season review over on the Star Wars channel, which, again, I'll link in the chat and the description. It is important because on Saturday we've got Tales of the Empire coming up, and my reactions are going to be over there on that channel. So by all means, if you want to see my reactions to Tales of the Empire, go and check out that channel. It hasn't been updated in about a week, but it's getting towards my birthday. This is a really heavy time of the year. I just don't have much time to update right now, but I'm getting back to it, and things should resume in a couple of weeks. So, I've also got my Phantom Menace tickets for Friday, the 25th anniversary in the cinema. So, again, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be a nice throwback to, the golden years, as they might call it. But we're here to talk about the Bad Batch finale. Again, this is obviously going to heavily focus on the rescue of Omega and the kids. The Zillo Beast is clearly going to be involved. And I think we're going to get a bit of a showdown, probably with Scorch as well. I'll be honest, this season's not been as dark as I imagined, but I would be surprised if we came out of this without anyone having died. I think Echo is probably my top contender for being killed off, but I think they've probably gone a safe route, and maybe that'll be the only person that'll get killed off, on the good guy's side at least. Hemlock is definitely dead. He's probably getting eaten by the Zillo Beast. And, maybe Emery will die. Who knows? Sacrifice herself to save the people that she'd imprisoned. Make amends at the very end. But that appears to be the direction we're going. I don't know how long. In fact, it's just turned 8 o'clock. I'm going to have a look and see how long the episode is. 51 minutes. Okay, so it's a double-length episode. So that is good. Because we've got a lot of ground to cover. I'm guessing that we probably won't find out any more about the CX clone. That's probably just going to be pushed to the side, which I'd be disappointed if that was the case. But yeah, we're going to get the rescue, and then we'll see where things pick up. And I think D. Bradley Baker said on Twitter yesterday that there is an epilogue. So I guess that means someone survives. We'll see, but maybe that'll take us into, interesting territory. Like with the end of the Clone Wars, we saw Vader, looking at Ahsoka's lightsabers on the crash site. Maybe we'll get something similar here a few years later during the Rebel era. We'll see. Anyway, we're going to jump in. So, without further ado, let's watch the season finale of The Bad Batch. Uh-oh. It's serious when we get more than just the immediate episode title. It's got a very, very ominous feel.
I knew Clone Force 99 would eventually attempt to recover Omega. Their failure is inevitable.
Oh, your overconfidence is your weakness.
I fail to see how she's of value to you.
What I am working on is beyond your understanding. Something so vital to the Empire it makes me indispensable.
I think he's maybe gotten a bit too much of an ego now. No one is indispensable to the Emperor.
Dr. Carr's been too lenient with you all. Return to your alcoves. A few days of isolation should remind you.
Night-night, bitch.
It worked.
He's gonna need another med patch.
We're out.
Oh, great.
I can make it.
So we're going to get Feckin' Wrecker bleeding out.
The kids were held in here. Where'd they come from?
The Empire used bounty hunters to.
It's an amazing shot. Like, again, I love what they can do now
was required for certain
with the depth of focus in animation.
testing.
Oh, boys, you are in trouble.
Step out of there.
Oh, boys, you are in trouble. Look at the eye on that.
It's children, sir. What do we do? Get them out of there!
Hello. Oh, this brings back some glorious memories. Eat him! Oh, you're just gonna piss him off. Yes! Chomp! I want to see people get chomped. Oh, man. I love the Zilla Beast. Such a cool design.
This puts him to sleep.
Like, all those guns are not going to do jack shit. They clearly have not thought through their protocols.
Omega needs you both. So,
Oh,
I'm doing this alone.
he's trying to sacrifice himself.
It's what I deserve.
No!
Think about Plan 99, Crosshair. Omega needs
You deserve
all of
better.
us, and so do those clones.
Holy fuck, yes.
Echo's handiwork. Omega's. Omega.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like Hemlock's not going to be
It's
chomped
just giving us
by
a
the
way
Zilla
in.
Beast.
Let's not waste it.
Oh, there's more than one. Wouldn't it be ironic if there was both Tech and Cody as assassin clones, and we were all right after all this time? Is this what Palpatine was looking at? What the fuck are you? Oh, are these the... Wait. I can't tell whether they're assassin clones, inquisitors, or something different. Who the fuck are these guys? It's strange, because obviously we've seen multiple people in that armor, but there appears to be different variants that we've never seen. What the? that was nice. I like the variation on the weaponry though. Oh no.
You should be more careful.
Don't you dare.
Shooting hand.
I'm gonna assume he's not just done an echo and he's someone saving him.
That blaster fire.
I'm swinging wildly back and forth on who's going to die. At first I thought it was going to be Echo, and then I was thinking Wrecker, and then I thought, well, maybe Echo might be the only one that survives, and now I'm back to thinking that Echo's gonna die.
I had to, but it's okay. We're all getting out this time.
It is, it's like a mini clone rebellion,
We gave up hope that anyone.
which is what I would have liked the season to focus on a bit more,
Space for a while.
on a bit of a larger scale.
Echo, I searched all the cells. They're not here.
Then let's get to the lab.
No. Your place is with them.
The last of the Kaminoans.
You'll need this.
'Cause I'm assuming that the Kaminoans were wiped out along with the facility on Camino. They're very vague about that. A bit like the Geonosis genocide. We don't know if it happened or not.
Do you? We shall soon see. You can expect my arrival shortly.
Oh shit. That's never good. When Tarkin shows up when shit's going down, it's not good. Oh, thermal detonator. What's Hemlock doing? No, not Hemlock. Rampart. Is that Rampart? Yeah. Is he going to try and trade Nala Se for his career?
Tell me everything about Project Necromancer.
Is he trying to get, like, blackmail material? Do you think he can blackmail the Emperor? He's stupider than I thought. Huh. That's a cool looking outfit. Like you say, it's very samurai inspired, I think. Oh my god. See, these feel like progenitors to the Praetorian Guard. It feels like maybe this is where they come from. Because the weaponry is similar. Oh man, are they just going to wipe out all of the clone prisoners? Yeah, toxic gas, that's what it looks like. Oh shit, is Echo down there?
Not any longer.
That was a mistake. Goodbye. Oh, fuck off, Scorch.
We're leaving.
Oh. Oh, he is pissed off. He is so pissed off. Yes! I hope that wasn't Tech. Or Cody. Because they both just died. Otherwise. Are we going to get a reveal, or is he just going to die? Oh, he's just going to die. I wonder if Tarkin's going to arrive with some Star Destroyers and blow up the base like they did on Camino. Yes! Fucking hell, he just... Yes! I mean, no, I love that ship. But yes. Oh, well, goodbye, Scorch. He really went out like a bitch. I love how he's using Hunter to steady himself. He's going to use Hunter to make the shot. Nice. 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 Love it. Goodbye, Hemlock. Okay, so I think we're... Right, I don't want to say we're in the clear because I know Tarkin's going to show up and fuck everything up. They're going to speed out as a Star Destroyer speeds in. Yes! Yes! We have a Star Destroyer! That looks so good! Ah, that looks so good. Venators are good, but you can't beat an Imperial class.
And redistribute all funding
to Project Stardust.
Stardust.
So there you go. They stem the cloning to develop the Death Star.
Like what?
A dad.
Whatever we want, kid.
He wants to be a father.
Whatever we want.
Gonky.
Thought you could just sneak off?
Oh my god, look at him.
Time hasn't dulled all my senses.
Damn. Just one last reminder, eh? The tech is really gone. He was the only one that didn't make it. Damn. One last beautiful shot before we leave. Well, there we have it. That is the end of the Bad Batch. The end of an era, really. And everyone gets to fly off into the sunset relatively unscathed. I think that's probably the thing that I would say surprised me the most from this finale. I'm going to try and keep my finale review separate. You know, this is just purely going to be based on the last episode, what I want to talk about here. I'm going to put up my overall season review on the Star Wars channel. So, you know, with the finale itself, I think it did surprise me in many ways. I'm very glad that they got a happy ending. I think we've become so accustomed to the clones getting, you know, killed off, the characters that we become attached to getting really dark endings in the Clone Wars, that I know for me personally, I was expecting at least one person to die here, and all we lost at the end was Crosshair's hand. Which again, I like the fact that, you know, in a way they almost forced the Bad Batch into retirements that way. You know, I think Hunter and Wrecker would be happy to sit out of the war, you know, the Galactic Civil War, because they've seen enough. Whereas I think Crosshair would be the kind of person who is still driven, and if he had the ability to shoot, he'd probably still want to be out there, you know, making up for his mistakes, taking revenge. But, you know, by taking his hand, they kind of remove that possibility from the fray. So, you know, again, it's nice the way they work that. Again, I just, maybe I was a bit too pessimistic coming in to the finale and the season in general, thinking that they might, you know, kill off at least one of the characters. But, you know, they got precedence. I mean, they killed Tech. That's the only thing that I would say, is that it makes me sad that Tech was the only one that didn't survive, because I feel like, you know, why him specifically? You know, why, just as we got some character development for him, he was just about to fall for Fee, you know, he was really kind of opening up and bonding with Omega, and they decide to kill him off. It still baffles me a little bit, you know, but what's done is done. And as it turns out, none of the assassin clones were Tech or Cody. Again, I think that's another thing, is that maybe they set up a bit too much to try and be resolved here. You know, we don't know what happened to Cody, which will annoy some people. For me, it's kind of like okay, well, it would have been nice to know what happened to him, but we'll see. Maybe there's future plans. The assassin clones themselves, and again, this kind of ties into my overall feel for the finale. Whilst I think they rounded it out nicely, and keeping the story on a smaller focus certainly helped, I did feel like it was at times a bit disjointed. There were things that kind of come up all of a sudden. You know, for example, the assassin clones themselves, you know, all of a sudden there being different types of assassin clones was like, okay, well, where's that been? Why haven't we seen more of that? You know, why all of a sudden just the final fight? And maybe it was like the shock value. Maybe it was like just to kind of like show us that they were working on other things. I mean, I definitely feel like those assassins, the progenitors to the Praetorian Guard. The weapons look very similar. The armor has a kind of same vibe to it. So it would make sense that, you know, the Praetorian Guard program starts, you know, there. But they don't use clones going forward. They use normal people, but conditioned and trained in the same way. You know, and the actual story itself made sense. You know, the destruction of the sort of data in the facility sets back the cloning project, forces all the funding into the Death Star, and that's why, you know, obviously the cloning in The Mandalorian is not as advanced as it is here, because they lose all their progress. And it is because of, you know, Hemlock's arrogance, you know, because he knows that they're coming for him, and he still feels like they're not a threat. You know, he still feels like he can handle them, and clearly he can't. The Zillo Beast didn't have as much to do with it as I thought. I mean, you know, it was clear to everyone that it was going to be used in the escape. But I think a lot of us were hoping that Hemlock might get chomped by it. And we did get to see a scientist get chomped, or a stormtrooper get chomped. And that was great, you know, and it clearly opened up a distraction and was a big part in the escape. But I don't know, I think I would have liked to have seen just a little bit more chaos from the Zillo Beast, you know, than we got. Because the Zillo Beast is just awesome. But again, on the whole, I think that the finale itself was, small scale as it needed to be. When you consider that this was the end of the entire show, they've decided just to keep it focused on that unit of the family. And that's really what it was. It was about leaning on each other, loyalty to each other, depending on each other. I was surprised at Rampart deciding to all of a sudden be stupid. One thing that Rampart never came across to me as was stupid. He always felt like, and this is what the Empire is. The Empire isn't stupid per se. They're arrogant. They're smart, but they are arrogant. And, Rampart, his arrogance led to his downfall initially, because he was set up as the fall guy by the Emperor. But here, believing that he could blackmail the Empire into giving him back a career just felt stupid. And it just felt like a kind of sudden way to be like, right, we need to kill him off. We need to get rid of him, give him a bit of comeuppance. I get the motivation behind it. It just felt a bit off for me in that sense. But, it's a minor thing. It is. I don't mind overall that they kept the finale quite small scale. Just deal with Tantus, deal with the thing that they've been, trying to handle for the longest time, Omega and, Het being tracked and used by the Empire, and just, get her out of that danger. There'll be some people who might be disappointed that they didn't get a Darth Vader or, something like that, but that really doesn't make a difference to me. I'm happy that we got to see an Imperial class Star Destroyer, kind of like that continuing theme that the Empire is slowly starting to creep into that galactic Civil War era. And it looks so good. The animation again is great, and seeing one of those Imperial class Star Destroyers in this animation quality was really nice. And the way they always do it, the ship darting out and then those ships darting in. It's always great. I love it. So yeah, if I was to formulate my overall feelings, Scorch went out like a bitch. The Zillo Beast I'd like to have seen more of. Keeping things small scale worked for the finale with the way that they've set the season up, but it felt a little disjointed at times. There were some things that were thrown in there all of a sudden that, just felt a bit out of place, but it didn't ruin the overall, feel of the episode. I'm happy that they got a good ending. No one died, but at the same time, I feel like maybe they could have taken it in a bit of a darker direction just to, show us that, well, not everything always has a happy ending. And to maybe stop us asking more questions than we might have come into this show with. What's going to happen with Echo? What happens to the rest of the clones? Even in the epilogue, we only get to see Hunter. But I'm assuming that they're trying to infer that, the other two stayed on Pabu as well. I will say that the vault caused me a bit of confusion, because clearly we go and see the Emperor standing in front of a chamber that looked very Sith-like, and then that's never referenced again. And I don't know if that was supposed to be the training area, because that got a very red look to it eventually, but that's not in the vault. And so I kind of feel a little bit unfulfilled in that part. Like, okay, the kids are there. That's fine, I get that. But it felt like they were building up to something else. And it's like, okay, well, what was in the vault? So again, that'll come more into it in my season review, when I talk about things not quite feeling complete. And a big thing for me is, trailer bait. I feel like this season in particular had a lot of trailer bait in it, but I'm not going to go into that right now, but I'll go into it in my season review. For the finale, it did what it needed to do. It was a little janky at points. Everyone got a happy ending, which people will feel differently on. I'm not feeling sad at the moment. Maybe that's because we've got Tales of the Empire coming up on Saturday. Maybe it's because for the longest time we've known that this was the end. And we've already had that kind of goodbye in the Clone Wars. We've already been through a couple of goodbyes, which maybe lessens it. But I guess maybe knowing they got a happy ending makes it easier to kind of separate yourself from the story. So, yeah, pretty good finale. Gotta say, happy with how it ended up. Could have been better, possibly, but I'm not going to complain. it ended off on a good note. So anyway, thank you for watching. As I say, this is probably the end of Star Wars reactions on this channel. Everything is going over to the Star Wars channel now, so subscribe to that if you haven't. Thank you very much for watching throughout the journey with me, throughout the Bad Batch journey, the Clone Wars journey, and I will see you on Saturday for Tales of the Empire.